Hello, welcome back everyone. I bought in this pittosporum to do a bit of trimming on. This was the tree that, one of the trees that I got out of a trailer. I was parked at a car park and there was a fella digging out all these big bushes. They were doing some bit of landscaping and they were just chucking all the bushes into this trailer to be dumped. So I asked him, could I have a look? He said I could. So I pulled out 3 of these. They were really tall, big, leggy things. So I cut them right down to, you can see in here where the branches are cut. And I brought them home. I gave one away and I had 2 myself. The other one died. The one I gave away died. This one made it. But literally the root ball was absolutely just a solid block. I couldn't, it was just wound so much around that it was just a complete solid block. So I literally just cut the root ball in half, so it was just sliced, just looked like it sliced across the trunk. And I planted it, and this one took. I had no branches, I chopped it right back, and no branches, just these 3 uprights, and all the branches have grown since. Yeah, so this one's doing really well. It's got a kind of a weird shape of a trunk, as you can see. Kind of a bit of a foldy kind of a belly in it there. Has these ugly big roots at the bottom, but it is what it is. I'll have to deal with it. This fern just grew in there by itself, so over the years I've just left it. I just trim it back every now and again. Let's take out a couple of the longer branches now, just so we can, a couple of them broken ones, just so we can get in there a bit and see. Okay, so as you see, it's been grown quite well, and it's getting a bit too full now, a bit too big, so I'm going to prune it right back and we'll let it grow again then for another while. It also needs weeding, as you can see. So we'll get on with that. One day I will probably be brave enough to take it right back, chop it right back. It obviously does grow from, sprout from old wood, because like that, I had it when I got it, there was no branches on it, but because I've had it a while now and I finally got it growing quite well, I don't want to be, which I probably should be a bit braver, but I just don't want to go now chopping it right back after getting it growing this much. So that might be a job for another year. I know it goes against what I normally say. I normally say do it now, but while it's looking well, I'm just going to keep reducing it. Maybe I can reduce it back. Instead of having to chop it right back, just keep reducing it until eventually it's reduced enough. It does backbud, as you can see. You get that, see that little bud there. Maybe I'll bring the camera a little closer while I'm doing the trimming. Here you can see it sends out backbuds. And now I'm just going to take it right back and see, can we get it to backbud more, rather than just chopping it back to bare wood. We can get backbud further back again and just keep working our way back. I kind of left it grow when it was growing because of the way I collected it, so I just kind of left it off, and where it's kind of got a bit leggy up top, but I kind of don't mind it, to be honest. It looks quite well, I think. So at the moment I'm just taking off the kind of new growing tips, pruning it back to outward facing leaves, taking off any dead stubs like that one, more or less pruning. There's a couple of branches here, one's kind of crossing over the other one. Should probably take away one or the other. I'll take this one back to here. Might send something out this way. I'm not too sure which is the front of this tree, whether it's this side or this side. Just kind of just keep switching it round, letting the sun get to both sides, because at one stage it was on kind of a shelf thing in my garden and it all grew on one side, a lot stronger on the other side, so now I just keep switching it round so that both sides get plenty of sun. One day I'll get round to doing maybe a bit of a better styling on it. Maybe later on in the year. Ian. A few of these branches kind of growing, curling up, because it was, while I was building my benches and stuff, it was against the fence, so it wasn't that wasn't helping the leaves and the branches. They were kind of curling towards the sun or curling away from the fence. But now I'm switching it round, so I'm not too worried about them now. I'll try and get it to grow back out now. So you could probably just hedge prune this if you really wanted to. Keep hedge pruning it for a while until you get it good and tight foliage on it. And then go in then and do some hard pruning and some styling. But I just kind of rather just go in, take a little bit more care on what I'm doing, so that I'm always trimming to an outward facing leaf. It is another tree that I have to do this a few times in the year, just to keep on top of it, because when it does start growing, it normally grows pretty quick. out of the 3 that I got, this one was probably the worst, so I was surprised it had the worst roots. I had to really cut through this one. It also had the worst trunk, which didn't help. Worst base on the trunk and everything. The others had quite a nice trunk on them, but maybe I was a bit too cautious with them. I sometimes think the more fluffing about you do, the leaf is curled up there now. It normally means there's something in there. Yeah, sometimes I feel the more you do too much like worrying and watching and doing stuff to trees and plants, they're the ones that don't make it, and the ones you just chop up and throw into the ground. I've had trees that are struggling and I've decided to get rid of them, and I've chucked them onto the compost heap, and then a few weeks later I realised they're growing really strong and good and healthy. Half the roots aren't in the ground, they're just lying there, and yet if they were in the pot and I was doing everything I could, they just would be struggling the whole time. The branches here a bit tangled up here. Maybe put a bit of wire on them, move them around a bit. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going around the tree and just keep pruning it. So I'm taking off the dead stubs and things. I won't put you through the torch to watch me do every one. So I'll just pause the video and we'll come back then and have a look at it. Okay, I think we're there with the pruning. I've just kind of been making sure it's kind of keeping it in the profile if I can. You see there now, it's not too bad. It's well thinned out, so plenty of light can get into the tree. This is the back, I would say. This is probably would have been the back, so it's a bit less sparse. It's a bit kind of bigger on that side, but when it's more light gets in here now, we might get some more branching in here. There's lots of buds inside here. So fill this out and we can trim this back a bit more. From the front, give you this. Looking okay. Plenty of light can get in now, so we should get a lot more back budding now this year. And you can see there how much I took off, quite a bit. Quite a lot there, so definitely been thinned out a lot. The only thing left to do now is give it a bit of a weeding. I'm going to put on a glove thing, find I can grip the weeds a bit better if I have a glove on this end. This tree, say 4 or 5 years now, and as far as I can remember, again this is why I decided to start making these videos, which is handy. I can go back and look at when I've repotted and things. So I can't remember when I repotted this. It'll probably definitely need repotting next year. I don't remember if I repotted it at all. I presume I did, but probably it would have been the first year, because I would have put it into just a grow box or something for the first year, just to get it, to see will it survive. I wouldn't have put it straight into a bonsai pot. And when it survived, and the second year I probably would have repotted it into this. So it's probably been this now a couple of years, alright. At least 3 anyway, I would say, so possibly could have done with a repot this year, but we'll do it next year. Just more or less scratching a lot of these weeds off, pull out the big old grass and stuff. A lot of liverwort on the surface. I'm just kind of scratching that off. So it's worth always keeping your eyes open for any trees and plants, things people might be throwing away. I wasn't sure if this would ever make a bonsai, but it was back when I was growing everything into a bonsai if I could, practicing, and this one was just one that survived. Definitely like to get different trees and plants, and you know, different from the norm, just to try them, you know, rather than just the Japanese maples and the junipers and stuff like that. I like to grow trees that you don't see very often as bonsai. I've never actually looked up this to see what's the bonsai is made out of this. Probably is, I don't know. There's one at the moment and on its way. Probably never be a great bonsai, but something different. And it was free. Okay, that's all good. Okay, so I'll just give it a look at that now from a distance. It's all pruned up, ready to go back on the bench, and no doubt you'll be seeing this a few times this year. Maybe if I can get back budding, I'll start maybe making some sort of pads rather than just having a big dome. But it's just one of the trees that I have, which is like this, so I don't mind having one or two in my collection like that. Okay, so that'll do for this one. I'll go and put it back on its bench, give it a watering. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to share the videos if you can. Helps me channel grow a bit, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.